Hello everyone, welcome to Rockshire Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be continuing our unboxing series on Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game from CMON and Spin Master. Today we're going to be taking a look specifically at the stretch goal box. This is the box that contained, of course, all the stretch goals from the campaign as well as all the daily unlocks from the campaign. So basically, I like to call this one the alternate character or alternate form box, because majority of what's in here is going to be characters who, if there was a living version in the core games or an expansion, they have an undead version here, and vice versa. If there was an undead version in one of the other boxes, there's probably a living version in here. Some characters are going to have both in this box because they were completely stretch goals or completely daily unlocks, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that as we go. Try to take off the glare, but there is the front of the box, and we'll get a better look at it here in a minute. There is the top of the box with, I think that's Shang-Chi, Crossbones, and Bullseye. This side of the box with Jessica Jones, Morbius, and Daredevil right there. Side of the box with Carnage, Black Knight, and Elektra. Bottom of the box with War Machine, Baron, Zemo, and Black Cat. And then all the other characters are going to be on the front in one of their forms or not, because I know Beast has 2 forms in here. Luke Cage has 2 forms in here. Almost everybody on here except for the Spiders have, and Giant Man have 2 different forms in this box, and Ghost Rider. We'll get into all that here in a minute. This is going to be the back of the box. This is, you're going to see the glare from the camera above, but this is going to be all the different characters we're going to have in here, all the unlocked bystanders from the daily unlocks, and all those zombies, all those heroes. This is going to be a great time. According to the back of the box, we're going to have 46 superhero game pieces and 27 zombie hero game pieces with 9 bystander game pieces. That's a lot of content on here. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. Now, one of the things I have said about this game in the past is just how much content you are getting with it, because most characters, at least like 70-something characters that were introduced in this game, have at least 4 modes to play as. You have or to play as or play with. You have the living version of a character to play as. You have an undead version of a character to play as. That's 2 modes right there, and they both do different things. Each character in that instance also has a living mode for like a spawn card that does one effect, and then they have an undead version that has a different effect. So 2 different ways to play as, 2 different ways to play against. So it's just very interesting how much versatility is in this game. And again, without the glare, there is our cover of our box right there. So let's go ahead and finally get this open. I am, for various reasons, filming this about a week after the other unboxings. You'll probably see the expansion box come out right around this at the same time. So yeah, there's that. So this is a brown box underneath the main box right here. This is more than likely where all of our characters are. And there's a content guide. That's actually interesting. There's nothing else in this box. Nothing else in the box. So we can actually put that over there. So we'll just put that other box over there, and we'll kind of take a look at this. It's very interesting that, because I kind of wonder, based on other old CMON Kickstarters, if this is all they would have shipped had this not been unlocked during the campaign. It seemed kind of weird if they did that. So one of the things I don't like about these brown boxes, though, is that they do fold up very easily when you're repeatedly going in and out of them. I find it true with Marvel United. Every time we go into the Kickstarter exclusive boxes, I feel like I'm tearing up that inner box more and more and more. So these are our trays. We'll separate them out. There's the top tray, there's the middle tray, and so on and so forth. I think I took the top to the other tray. I did. So that is how your trays come right there. This left tray right here does have 2 empty wells on it. Pretty sure that is for if you are sleeving this giant deck of cards. You could actually separate it between living and undead if you wanted to. Same thing with the other well right here. You could separate it between living characters and then undead and what are the other ones called? Bystanders. If you want to do that, because there are more living characters in this deck and this deck than in the other one. We're going to go ahead first and take a look at some cards. Now, in other unboxings I've done, I've just basically held up the cards for everyone to see. However, this is a lot of cards. Like I said, this entire campaign, I don't know if my numbers are 100% accurate, but there were just under 100 characters in the game. The only thing I haven't shown off on the channel is the artist box. It's something I didn't buy, but there were 6, I believe, additional characters in there. So I believe without that, there was like 90 something or low 90 something total characters. 91, 92 without the artist box were living, with another 70 of undead. So there's a lot of cards here. I mean, let's just look at the undead versions of them right here. This is a ton of cards. So I'm not going to be holding up all of them, just maybe some of the ones that I think are interesting. So like I said, we've got Beast here, Black Cat, Bullseye, Colossus. Again, this is an example, I'll just show here, Colossus. The example of more from the daily unlocks. This is a character who is in the X-Men core, but got a daily for basically being able to play him in zombie mode. Most of the characters, if they were in the core set, got a corresponding figure in the other sets. That way you could still play as the other version of the character if you wanted to. And again, there's a lot of doubles in here. Again, going back to Beast for a minute. There is Beast zombie version of his card, and move it all the way so you can read it. You're probably going to pause it right here. There's Beast, 2 different versions of his card, the living version and the undead version. Both, one has Zombie Genius, one has Genius Intellect, Claw Frenzy. Let's see, do they both do the same thing? No, they actually do something slightly different than Supreme Agility. Both those red skills are a little bit different. So for someone like Beast, looking at these, both cards are very similar, some slightly different wording on them because one is for the hunger mechanic, one is for the power mechanic and that kind of stuff, but very similar cards nonetheless. I'm hoping that that's not true for everyone, but again, we have about 150-ish different playable characters in the game. So there is that. Let's put these down here. Got Doctor Strange, another character that we have in the as a living character in the main game. We have a version that you play against in Heroes Resistance. He's popped up quite a few times. If you go back and look at our playthroughs on the channel, we have a lot of we've had him pop up quite a few times. There's Gambit, because why not Gambit, with his staff apparently sticking to his chest right there. So there's that. But yeah, so quite a few different I don't even know what I was saying at that point. I've lost all concept of words. There's Human Torch right there. So we got Kingpin, Kraven, Luke Cage, Magneto, who's also in the X-Men core, Miss Marvel, who's in the regular core, Multiple Man. Multiple Man is interesting because this was a card we were given as a unlock. The main reason why I'm showing it up here, and I can't read it on the screen with how far away it is, but he was a character that we were given as a stretch goal. He was already, like, his figures are already definitively in the main game, main X-Men version of the game, but we got a zombie card here in the stretch goal box to be able to play as him in our games. So yeah, that's going to be pretty fun to play with there. We've got Mystique here, First Son Nightcrawler, Nova, Rogue, Scarlet Witch, who we fought a few times in Heroes Resistance, Scorpion, Storm, Thor, who I love the artwork, and we'll get to the box here in a minute, but I do love the fact that his right arm, left side to us, is like still trying to pick up Mjolnir, but he his arm's already in half. I think both of his arms. I think he's actually pulling both of his arms apart trying to lift the hammer. So, because he ain't worthy no more. So, there is that. And speaking of people with arms off, there is Winter Soldier, missing an arm there. And then finally in this pile here, we've got Wolverine, who I know they probably contrived some reason in the comic books as to why he was able to turn into a zombie and why his healing factor didn't factor into healing him from the zombie plague. But between him, Deadpool, and Sabretooth and similar characters, I'm not sure how he got fully zombified. But yeah, there is those characters. And on the living side, bigger pile of stuff, we've got, again, Baron Zemo, Beast, we've got Black Bolt, who's in the Fantastic Four box. Black Knight is an original. I think Blade is as well. We'll show them off here. Black Knight not in any other box, completely a stretch goal with only a living version. Right there. Blade, I believe, same way, because he's a Daywalker. He's not able to get the virus, I guess, because he's already a vampire. Then we got Bullseye, got living Captain America, living Captain Marvel, Carnage, let's see, Crossbones, who I'm pretty sure only has a living version right there. And then my boy, Cyclops, before the murder. So there's that. Daredevil, Dark Phoenix, completely taking over the top of her her board. She's got there's no border up there at the top because, you know, Phoenix there. So, or Dark Phoenix. Got Wade Wilson, all the Doctors, Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus, Elektra. Let's see, Emma Frost. Is she? I don't think she's in any other box now that I'm thinking about it. There's Emma. That's her. She only throws 1 dice, but she hits on a 2 or more. So as long as you don't roll, you know, teeth, she should hit, and she hits from 1 over. During your turn, you may spend any amount of power for each power spent. Deal 1 hit to 1 walker, runner, or brute within range 1. So there's that. So let's see, Gambit, another somebody who doesn't have an undead version, Ghost Rider, right there. His power and everything is colorful. Let's see. You have 3 health, 1 strength each round. You may ignore 1 wound you receive. Penance Stare, set your health to 4. When this is unlocked, once during your turn, you may spend any amount, okay? And then Supernatural Stamina, your health. So you gain health as you level up. So that's pretty cool for him. Hawkeye, let's see. I stupidly did not grab our Hero's Resistance down. I don't know if Hulk is the same or not. You have 5 health. Enemies suffer 1 toughness against your smash attack. That is different than Hero's Resistance. Hero's Resistance, I believe, he gains power equal to the amount of wounds he's taken. So there's that. Let's see. Living Iceman, living Iron Man. I'm not going to say living because they're all living. Jessica Jones does not have an undead version. Right there. Let's see. Juggernaut, Kingpin, Kitty Pryde. Again, without a zombie version. Apparently she was able to just phase through all that stuff. Let's see, Lizard, Loki, Luke Cage. I believe he was actually the first stretch goal in this game at the 2 million mark. Miles Morales. Interesting costume there. I'm not sure where they got the inspiration from that. I haven't read the comics in a few years. So there is his card. My son will be happy that I finally opened this box now. Let's see, you got another Moon Knight, Morbius, Namor, the character everybody wanted the entire campaign, Nightcrawler. Let's see. Bamf, gotcha, and surprise shot are his abilities. So, yeah, he can just move to another zone with a hero if he spends power, so that's cool. Psylocke, Sabretooth from the core box. Shang-Chi, who doesn't have a zombie mode. Spider-Woman, who doesn't have a zombie mode anywhere, I don't believe. I didn't see one, or I don't remember one. If any, she's anywhere, she's in the Hydra box, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Because, again, there's like almost 100 characters with well over half of them, probably 3/4 of them having 2 modes. So, Star-Lord, Vulture, Wasp. Let's take a look at the Wasp here. Exploit openings. Wasp Sting is still the same. Wasp openings, you ignore target priority when attacking. Once during your turn, you may eliminate one walker or runner in your zone. Again, I believe different than Hero's Resistance, because I think in Hero's Resistance she's able to move about without having to use extra actions. And then finally we have Winter Soldier. So those are our heroes. Put them in there. You can see how this is kind of working out so far. I'm going to get to these miniatures. Don't worry. I'll get to them. We're starting from tray 1 to 2 to 3. We'll get to the big guy last. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. Don't you worry about it. So let us take a look at the zombie cards. And I'm realizing that we're going to have living and undead versions of all the zombie cards. One of the things I did want to point out, though, that I think is, yep, it is true. So with Mystique's shape-shifting ability, so these are like Ben Urich right here. These are the Bystander cards that I believe, with the background here, that you play with in the living version of the game, which is why on the back here they've got Senator Kelly, Stryker, and Valerie Cooper on the back. Mystique, clearly a zombie card right here. 3 health. Spawn this zombie hero and immediately activate her. When Mystique is eliminated, spawn a bystander on the closest spawn point if tied players choose. So she's got that spawn card right there, and then on the back of it she has a bystander back. Not a misprint like a lot of people think. I think this was intentional because she basically just pops up somewhere. It's why it says spawn this zombie hero and immediately activate her. She basically pops up where a bystander would be. You think you're getting, oh hey, I'm getting a bystander. Nope, you're getting Mystique. Anyway, so characters we're going to get in with bystanders, we got Ben Urich, Claire Temple, who I can't think of where she's from at the moment. Got Dum Dum Dugan, recent robot, Foggy Nelson. We got Happy Hogan. When performing ranged attacks, you may spend 1 power to gain 1 range. That's not what he does in Hero's Resistance. I think in Hero's Resistance he pushes enemies to another zone, which is why he is my favorite to use in that game. Harry Osborn, each time you use a heroic trait, 1 other superhero within range 2 gains power. Jimmy Woo, we got Karen Page, we got Vanessa Fisk, and then Mystique. So those are going to be our bystanders in the living version of the game. Then let's see what we got here. They would separate these a little bit more. So then we've got like Beast, Black Cat, Bullseye. So basically all the characters we just took a look at. These are going to be like their zombie versions of their cards. I'm not going to spend too much time on these because I know everybody would love to get to the actual figures. There's Colossus. As you can see, I have a penchant more for the X-Men than I do the rest of Marvel, since I'm showing those off more. Doctor Strange, will show him just because of the fact that he works differently than Heroes Resistance, which is mostly what James and I have played on the channel. So when he would activate, if not in a zone with the superhero, place him and all enemies in his zone in the farthest zone with a superhero. Strange, and these enemies don't activate this phase. I'll have to take a look at that again when I'm not trying to read for speed here. Let's see. Gamora, Giant Man, can attack from 1 zone away before performing each action. There is a superhero adjacent to him behind a wall, closed door, or window. Place an open door or window connecting both zones. So there is that. Johnny Storm. Kingpin, Kraven, Luke Cage, Magneto. I didn't look on those. I didn't see who had more than 3 health. Again, as I've said, and there's Thor with 5 health right there in this version. Wolverine with 4. As I've said before, in other videos in this series, I'm going to go back, just glance at these cards real quick. As I've said before, it slightly bothers me that some characters only have 3 health. I get what they're doing with like Ghost Rider, with the cool mechanic of having him go up to 5. Hulk, of course, would have 5 health here, but Juggernaut with 5, again, of course. Wilson Fisk, again, with 3 for some reason. Juggernaut and Hulk and Ghost Rider are the only ones in here with more than 3 health. I know people are going to be like, well, the mechanics of the game and the zombie heroes, yeah, they have 5 because of things with hunger mechanic and all that stuff. I get that, I really do, but like at the same time, I want to find a good example of this. Like Captain Marvel, especially for people who play the game and from the movies and everything, and I get movies, comics, whatever difference, like still, she's a super strong character. I'm sure she could hold her own with Hulk. She only has 3 health in the game. You'd think she'd be able to take more hits than, as much as I love him, like Cyclops, like he shoots lasers out of his eyes. He shoots non-fiery, concussive lasers out of his eyes. Outside of that, it's all just him going to the gym. All the muscles and everything like that. So like, I'm pretty sure he's not going to take a direct hit from the Hulk, from Zombie Hulk. I get that. I mean, even with the mechanic of Emma Frost only having like 1 die when she attacks, like, yeah, she may not, unless she goes to diamond form, she may not be able to take a hit, but like, I feel like Carol Danvers or other character, Thor, somebody else would be able to take a hit more than some other characters. So the fact that there's a lot of characters in here with only 3 health, I understand the whole mechanics of the game and everything part of it, but I think some of them should have more health. Like at least 4. Like Rogue and Colossus should not be at 3; they should be at 4. I mean, Juggernaut has 5. Colossus has gone toe to toe in the comics with Juggernaut a few times. So yeah, there's that. So they got our. I'm gonna get off that high horse. So we've got our zombie version of Bystander, and I'm gonna give a example of differences with Ben Urich right here. You kind of see how that looks if you pause the video right now. Welcome back. So there's an example of that. But again, all the same basic characters from the other deck right there. Again, a lot of what we're looking at is basically the same characters over and over. This is all, again, the spawn cards for when you're playing as zombie mode. It's like Blade, whenever a zombie hero has resolved an attack that makes them ravenous, Blade performs 1 action. So there you go, right there. So just different examples of the cards. Dark Phoenix, like, and again, like here, like getting back to it, like Doctor Doom. I'm gonna gripe on this for a minute. I'm sorry if you got here for the figures. I apologize. We're gonna take a look at it here in just a second. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Where are the doctors at? Where are my doctors at? Like right here. If I'm a zombie and I'm fighting Doom, he's got 5 health. Right? And then on the flip side, if I'm a regular person and I'm fighting zombies, I have 3. Now, yes, I have more stuff to do down here, and I haven't read through the cards because of the nature of this unboxing. It would be boring if you saw me read through each one of these cards. I would be here for hours if I did that. This, again, would be the Lord of the Rings of unboxings. But I feel like this should have an even amount of health. I don't know. It's just how I feel. How I feel about that. Like, okay, so Juggernaut, his toughness increases according to the highest danger level. So that's always good. 1 right there. I feel like his other one does the same thing. I can't remember, but I feel like his other card does the does a similar thing right there. So, but yeah, so lots of cool cards in here. Anybody else want to show off? Got Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler will show off here. There he is, Kotwagna. Right there. So, those are going to be our zombie heroes. Anything else on the bottom? Nope. So we'll put our, not zombie heroes, those are our living heroes. So we'll put our living heroes with our zombie bystanders there. We'll put our zombies with our living bystanders right there. So that is that. So, we're going to go like this. We're going to move this tray, not taped, thank God, over here and finally take a look at the miniatures, starting with Hulk, because Hulk. So there is the Incredible Hulk. I'm just going to kind of go through a few of these. And again, I wish I would have gotten Hero Resistance out, because you can definitely tell there's differences in the sculpts with these compared to that game, which is always welcome. Let's see, who is not in a core? Let's see, there's Deadpool, so I think the top row is mostly everybody who was in a core box. Bottom row, very similar. Let's take a look at, even though it's in a core box, let's take a look at Living Juggernaut. Looking pretty cool there. I like it a lot. So we'll take a look at Iceman right here. There he is in his clear plastic. Again, don't know what I'm going to do with this one, because, again, I would like at the very least to paint the base of the character, but at the same time, I don't want to, do anything with the transparent pieces. I know there's not that many in this game. There's some in other games that are coming out. Some I have, some that are coming out at some point. But yeah, like I said, this looks very nice the way it is. It's kind of like Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four box for Marvel United. I don't want to paint the Silver Surfer, but I kind of want to at least paint the base. But I don't want to have to repaint the silver that they already put on there. They didn't do that with the one that comes in Galactus with this. It's just the gray and green plastic on there. So yeah, there is Iceman there. Let's take a look. We got a Doctor Doom here. It's a very nice figure. I like this one a lot. This is me more or less trying to make sure that I don't have any double of anybody. Baron Zemo looks like he's leaning forward a little bit more than I would like. I think he should be standing up a little more. So, and then let's see, this Nightcrawler? No, this is Namor. That tentacle made me think it was a tail for a minute. There's Namor, the Submariner. And let's see what else we got. Oh, there's a living Hawkeye for us right there. And then War Machine. He looks pretty awesome. He looks pretty cool. I dig the War Machine. I've had two sculpts of War Machine. This one right here, and do I have him up here? The Crisis Protocol one. I know we're talking about two different things right now, but both. I've never had a bad War Machine. All right, so we're gonna put this back on here. Let me know if there is any figure that we didn't show off that you wanted to see. We'll probably try to incorporate these very quickly into some playthroughs on the channel. I really don't have the time, unfortunately, to go through every single one of them on here. But let's see what else we have here. Let's see. This is, I think, Shang-Chi right there. And then we've got Vulture, looks like. Right there. Let's see. Who do we have here? Elektra. There's Elektra right there. Let's take a look at a bystander. Got Dum Dum Dugan. Right here. And oh, this one's gonna be complicated. Got Doc Ock. Right there. Let's see. Anybody else? You got a wild haircut Ghost Rider right here. I think they went a little overboard with the flames there. and unfortunately no motorcycle. So there's that. And go back in there the right way. Let's see, everyone's favorite Miles Morales. Just saw the new movie recently. It was actually pretty good. Didn't realize, spoilers, I was going to end on a cliffhanger, but the figure looks a little weird from the side here, but looking at it straight on, like in the artwork, it looks pretty good. I think my camera's still blurring it slightly, but there's that. And let's see, any other, just because we've used him quite a few times in Heroes Resistance, there is Happy Hogan holding, I'm assuming, Iron Man's mask. Apparently he found it during the zombie apocalypse. So yeah, that is going to be all the living. So we got almost two trays of living heroes, with one of them having the bystanders on there. But now let's get to the zombie heroes. If you are in this for the zombie mode, playing as the zombie mode, this is going to be the main event for you. Let's see, we had zombie. I like this Strange a little bit more. So there's Zombie Strange with, I'm assuming he's like calling forth like the undead through a portal. Right there, because I mean his hand's on this side of the figure. If you look at that there, and he's casting something to get everybody out of there. So there's that. Got Zombie Thor with clearly an arm missing or cut in half there, trying to lift up Mjolnir. So there's that. Let's see. This is Zombie Torch. I've seen a few paint jobs of this one, and I am very intimidated to work on it. Let's see here. Anybody else before? I liked this one. Zombie Beast is not as apparent in this, but in the raised arm, you can definitely tell they were trying to just have it to where just like the bone was exposed at one point. But it didn't translate as well with that to the figure, but still the figure looks great nonetheless. This is probably, without transparent plastic, this is probably one of the other better sculpts, more detailed sculpts. Moon Knight, look at that cape back there. I don't know what the heck's going on back there. So there is some Moon Knight. And one more fan favorite, we got Zombie Nightcrawler here. And just because I think everybody would rebel if I didn't show them off. It's not the zombie version, but we do have Living Phoenix, Dark Phoenix right here. And then with all the Phoenix of Force behind her. Again, how do you paint her? Who knows? Yeah, that's going to be tough to paint, because again, I don't want to mess with the fire effect. No, she's in the X-Men box. That's where I'm trying to like think of where she's at in the game. My figure is kind of leaning a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it's leaning over to one side. But that is okay. But yeah, I don't know how to paint that one. And then the big boy, who is he's actually like tied in here, just like the Sentinels were. Alright, so I got that off of there, and now let's take a look at the big boy Giant Man right here. Hank Pym and all his zombie glory, just, you know, eating chunks away at Black Panther. Right there. So there is Giant Man, and that is going to be all of the characters that I'm going to show off today for Marvel Zombies, the stretch goal box. So with that, let us know down in the comments who you would like to see in the game first that we play against. We're going to be doing fairly soon gameplay of this on the channel. Don't know if we're going to get through all the missions on both the heroic and the Zombicide. I have started playing the game off camera just to kind of learn the differences in the rules from the Resistance version to the regular OG zombie version. So, but yeah, let us know who you would like to see pop up first in the game. We are probably going to do at least the first video with just the core box, then after that incorporate you know, taking the living heroes and just throwing their spawn decks together in a way, and you know, fighting whoever comes up, and well as shifting through the different zombies to play against, and then kind of vice versa with the X-Men one. So again, not sure how far we'll get in that content. All that depends upon you and whether or not you're enjoying the video series or not. So with that said, if you did like this video and want to see more content for Marvel Zombies, please go ahead and hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all those different things, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.